So today we're going to talk about posturing. As much we can talk over the theoretical part to understand what is the thing, what we gonna do in that. Okay. Lab probably will see it tomorrow. Okay. Because what has happened, I pinged you in the group yesterday that we're gonna have the lectures of the MAR and the posturing with respect to the theory and the lab. Then at night around at 1 a.m. there was a family emergency. So due to that, my sister was not well. So I had to travel way back through a flight into a different state. So now I'm at her home, okay, looking after her as well. So that's the reason. So whole posturing and the MAR setup is being there on my personal desktop. Okay. But right now tonight I'll be taking that setup over the server as well. So for sure, tomorrow we'll be seeing the lab with respect to the posturing, but today we'll see the theoretical part. We'll understand what the posturing actually is and what it's gonna do, how it's gonna make the change as per the user authentication, which are coming from probably from the .1x. Okay. Now, see what is the basic, if you understand what is the basic meaning of posture. See, whenever we sit anywhere, onto a chair, onto the bed, we are laid on the bed, sitting over the sofa or anywhere on the mattress. And similarly, when you go to a doctor visit, he also says that you should be having a good posture while sitting. Posture means there is a certain way of doing the things. Okay. This should be your correct posture. These should be your minimum requirement in order to sit properly. That you don't have to expand your legs. You don't have to sit cross-legged. Okay. Simple posture should be, back should be straight. There should be no strain, no lumbar support over the back. There should be no strain on the lower back as well. This is the basic meaning of posture. Same thing in the world of your ISE, which is a AAA server. So over here also there are certain prerequisites or the minimum requirement which needs to be fulfilled in order for the user to get authenticated. I hope you are getting my point. Now let's suppose that you guys came into my company and I have set up a AAA server. Okay. So how you are coming? You will be coming as a guest. So I'll be giving you a guest access, right? Like yesterday only. Let's talk about yesterday only. Yesterday night around at midnight 3 a.m. in the morning, I had my flight. Right? For that, I reached to the Bangalore airport. Okay. After reaching to the airport, I was getting bored, so I opened up my laptop. In order to connect with the internet, first I have to connect with the free Wi-Fi which was being offered by the airport authority. Of course, I connected to it. Automatically, once I connected to that particular network, they had opened a window for the login process. That login is being done by whom? There is at the backend, there is a AAA server installed, of course. Okay. So they have opened up a guest portal for me. Over the railway stations, over the airport, you will see the guest portal where you have to log in with your phone number. Your phone number is your ID. There is no username or password. There is a facility of your phone number as well as your PIN, the OTP which you will receive on your mobile phone, which you have registered over the guest portal. So I dropped my number, I got a PIN, and I entered that PIN, and now I was able to use it. Simple. They have given me a session timeout of 45 minutes. Till 45 minutes continue, the network will be connected. After that, you have to again generate a ping and get connected to the internet if you want to. Okay. So this is a simple guest portal access. Okay. Now in this, we're gonna introduce two more terms. Term number one. Term number one, client provisioning. Okay. Term number 2, posturing. Okay. My writing is clear. See, it's a little bit coming bad just because of this, my posture. Okay. So I don't have a complete setup over here for the desk and all. I'm sitting on the bed and taking the lecture. So that's the reason a little posture is disturbed. Yeah. So 2 parts, client provisioning and posturing. Now, what is client provisioning? See, posture, now you got to know that basic meaning is that it's a minimum requisite, minimum requirement which you need in order to connect with the internet or connect with the concerned network where you are reaching out. Okay. And there are different stages. That stages I'll talk about in the near section. Near time. Don't worry about that. So, how these 2 parts are being taken now? Implement in this only. In this example only, I'm going to implement the client provisioning and the posture. Okay. So what will happen? Once I reach to that login page, after getting connected to the network, and I have entered my phone number, and they have given me a PIN, and they might be giving me a EULA also. EULA, everyone knows, license agreement, basically all the so many of lines you get, and at the last you are accepting those agreement. It is simply called as EULA. Yeah. So I have taken down the EULA as well. I have accepted the agreement. And after that, what will happen? After that, first picture will come of the client provisioning. Okay. What? It will download certain resources. Client provisioning means downloading certain resources. Whatever the resources or the tools or the software which they have dropped, that airport authority, that AAA server which has loaded. So we'll see in the lab also that how we gonna load multiple tools into the ISE that needs to be downloaded. And what do we need to select? Okay. So let's suppose, for example, I select that any connect. That means as soon as I have entered my PIN and it's got validated, I will be redirected and I'll be, first of all, they will download definitely. Now, this is the thing. If you have not allowed to download or if you have not installed, you'll not be getting connected to the network for the free internet access. Simple as that. So AnyConnect is the tool, and AnyConnect compliant tool is getting installed over inside your PC. So first it got downloaded. It has detected. It will take 10 to 15 seconds to detect that whether your laptop already have that particular tool or not. And then it will download it. Once you download it, you have to install it. Okay. While installing, after installation is being completed, it is just like a normal VPN installation or something. Okay, a software installation. Next, and install. Simple as that. Once it is being installed, now second picture will come over there. Posturing. Now what will happen? Once that tool which is installed and it will run, now it will check for all the prerequisites which it's being setted over the AAA server. All the prerequisites. Okay. What type of prerequisites? So let's suppose that I am using my Mac OS. Okay. Or remove it. Go with the Windows. Best example. What are the prerequisites? That client Windows firewall should be on. Client should be having the latest version of the cumulative updates of the Windows. If any of the update is coming, I'll not allow to authenticate. There should be no update. It should be updated till the date, whatever the updates are there. Your Windows update. I'm not talking about any software update, directly operating system updates. It should be updated to the latest version. So first of all, I have enabled a condition that firewall should be on. Second, I have enabled a condition that latest operating system update should be installed. Third, I have enabled up the condition that you should also be having, let's suppose, a file name as file.txt. Inside your C folder, you should be having a file.txt. Fourth, I am giving a condition that kindly detect that there is no USB drive which is being connected to your laptop or your machine, which is trying to get into the network. These are the different conditions which I have given. Also, on top of that, one more condition which I can give is, let's suppose your Windows antivirus definition, your Windows Defender, right? Everyone uses the Defender. It's by default over there. So all the Windows Defender definitions should be over the updated versions. Once these all requirements are fulfilled, then only you'll be getting the full network access. Simple as that. Otherwise, what will happen? Any one of the services down. Let's suppose firewall service is down. Okay, firewall service is down. You have not enabled the firewall, Windows firewall. No, it will not allow you to give the full network access. That's the reason many AAA servers, whatever the network engineer behind the scene who is configuring that server, is giving out and allocating only certain prerequisites which can be fulfilled by the user at that moment when he want to connect. That's their job. That's not our thing to be. That's our thing to be considered. That what are the requirement, but requirement varies company to company as per what are the things you wanna allow inside your network. Okay. Now, question: why do you think that they might be needing that antivirus should be over the latest update, or firewall should be on over there, or my latest operating system update should be there? Okay. Hello, this is fine. USB drive is fine. That USB drive might be malfunctioned or might be containing any kind of malware. So due to that, they have said that there should be no USB drive which should be connected to the machine, end user machine, the client machine. But what about these? Why we require the antivirus or firewall or the latest operating system? This is my question. Anyone wants to answer on that? Wants to give his idea? Chris sir, Abdullah sir, Anil, Ashish, all the sirs and ma'am, whoever are in the chat. Endpoint security. Okay, good word used. What benefit will be there, or what will be the lag if the firewall is off or the latest operating system is not there? Okay, whenever a cumulative update come for the firewall or the antivirus or your Windows operating system, majorly these are not all the feature update. First of all, try to understand, these are not your feature update. Cumulative update refers to all your security update which are being there. So there are certain scenarios when your security will be compromised. Okay, and due to that, daily basis, Microsoft developers at the backend are also working. They are creating certain scenarios. Okay, they are patching all the prerequisites or the problems which they had inside the previous update. So they are patching all the update and giving you another update to do it. Okay, those update, if didn't happen, can harm inside your network access, can harm the company to which you are getting connected, can harm the network to which you are getting connected. Just drop yes and no if you have heard about this term. I also forgot that term. What was that term? Anyone heard of this? Hello? Kindly please mute it at your end so that we can maintain. Okay, yes. So Mubarak sir have said yes. Others? No, yes, no. Kindly reply, guys. No, sir. Others? You all are here, right? Okay. Chalo. We are chatting. We are talking over here. Metasploit. Okay. So Metasploit is what? This is a framework. This is a framework. Okay. Linux based. Can be installed inside your Windows operating system also. I can install into my Mac OS also because obviously my Mac is always Linux based, so we can install over in multiple operating systems. What this framework do? This is a security framework, Metasploit. Okay, as the name suggests, exploit. Okay, deals with exploit. What is the exploit? What is the exploit? It's a simple code, nothing else. Code or the script which you write. Whatever code or script which you write, okay, in order to exploit a machine, that is called as an exploit. See, this terminology is a little bit dicey. Okay, somewhere exploit is used as a term to refer that I want to do certain attack on any of the machine, that is being also termed as exploit. But technically, whenever you write a script which you want to execute or which you are executing, that script is also being told as that piece of code is also being told as exploit. And this word also being referred to as one more, which you might have heard, payload, also called as the payload. But we generally in like I'm into completely security. Okay, so when I used to do the hacking, we use this term whenever I am writing a one-liner code that we call generally as a payload in JavaScript or Java. But whenever you designed a whole script, that is called as an exploit. Now, what is Metasploit? Metasploit is a framework which contain thousands of exploit which are being created in the market. This tool contains all those exploit. Those exploit can belong to Mac, can belong to Linux, can belong to Windows operating system, can belong to a certain software like WinRAR. Okay. Any of the certain other predefined software which comes under your operating system, it can belong to that. So Metasploit is a framework which contains thousands of exploit. Now see, I have a market store where I have thousands of file of exploits. Okay. Exploit 1.txt, 1.py, 1.java, something like that. I just need to do what? I just need to define that what is the target on which I have to hit, and I'll execute this JavaScript over that target. Target basically either it's a domain or either it will be an IP address, of course. And I can do the attack. Mostly for the network attacking, Metasploit is being used high time. And it contains everything. So even when you go with respect to the Windows, your Windows 10, maximum patches which are not being cleared out, those are being stored inside your Metasploit. Inter-network exploit you can do, intra-network exploit you can do. That is the reason in posturing these prerequisites are getting fulfilled, that you need to fulfill all the requirements while getting connected to the network because of such attacks, such exploits, such tools. Okay. So I've just told you about the framework. You can check it out. It's open source. You can download it. It's very heavy to run as well. Okay. Now this is. Now there are different stages in the posturing. What kind of stages? See, there can be multiple. Multiple stages are there. One is unknown. One is non-compliant. And one is compliant. Again, coming back to that airport example now. Try and understand. I have logged in. I have put in my phone number, right? After that, I received one OTP. After that, I entered that particular OTP. Fine. I'm getting connected to the network, right? It makes sense. After putting up the OTP, I am getting the network access. But due to that client provisioning and the posturing process, I'm not able to get the full-fledged network access in order to access the internet, the total internet freely. But I got into the network. If I'm not getting into the network, how you possibly think that I'll be able to download all the tools for the client provisioning process? Makes sense? So that is my first stage, where there's some security which is being implemented that I need to download all those resources. Without that, I cannot go further with the posturing. That is called as your unknown stage, the first stage, where you got connected to the network, but you are getting only a limited access. Oh, nice voice of the kid, sir. Okay. Was beautiful. Now, can you please mute it at your end, Emma, sir? Is it possible? Hello, thank you. So, first of all, we have the unknown stage. Over the unknown, what we did, that I connected to the network, but there is a limited access. What access has been given to you guys? Can you think about it? That what is the access? What are the permissions that I am granted over here in this unknown? Anyone? Just give an idea. Just think about. See, access means, permissions means, first of all, what are the meaning of permission? How do you define the permissions inside your ISE, inside your ISE, or inside network security? Basically, the whole CCI. Acha, what is interesting traffic? Krish sir, Mugayed, Prashant sir, what is the interesting traffic? What we define in order to define the interesting traffic inside our firewall? Chalo, we'll go with the basic. We'll start from the firewall. Access list. Chalo, take it. Good. Access list. Right. Perfect answer. Now, what that access list is called in ISE? Access DACL. Perfect. Okay. We write it as DACL, downloadable access list. Of course. Now, this downloadable access list, where it is being used? In authentication or authorization? That is my question, to be precise. Authorization, right? So what was my, now understand, what was my authentication process? It was basically just entering my phone number and just getting a OTP from my mobile, on my mobile. This was my authentication. Second step, authorization. In that authorization, I had written an unknown DACL, which got hitted. Okay. Now, tell me, what is that authorization I am getting? As per this whole scenario, see, what will happen after getting the unknown access list? What will be the next step? Take it as a user, understand as a user, not as a network engineer. What is the first step? You have entered the PIN, you got logged in. Then what will happen? The next thing? Access to, correct, access to the resources. Basically, now your resources will get downloaded. Understand? This is what you're gonna define under your authorization profile. and inside your DACL that I don't want to give the full network access to the user. I only want to give him the limited access where he can download that DACL, where he can download all the resources. Whatever I have told, it's a AnyConnect tool, it's a client profile tool, anything which is being there. That we'll discuss with respect to the lab precisely. That is the only access which I am giving to the user. So I have defined that term as unknown at the first stage, because right now the user is, or the end user, the client is not known to the network. Simple. Now, first step is being done. Second, non-compliant. Non-compliant. Non-compliant means after the unknown, what will happen? My resources will get downloaded inside my PC, of course, because of the redirection which is being happening. All the resources got downloaded, I have installed it. Okay. Now there are two processes. See, how I can make you understand this. Asha. This everyone knows. In our browsers, we have the ad blockers. Everyone is aware of this, right? So whenever, Chris sir, you are visiting, now understand, everyone give the answer. Whenever you are visiting a page and you get a pop-up of the ad blocker, is it your job manually to do it or automatically it happens? Automatically that page ad blocker has to be turned off, or you manually have to do it? This is my question. Once you get the pop-up. Manually, right? So you manually turn off the ad blocker. Again, you reload that web page and now you are able to visit the content. Otherwise, that pop-up will not get removed. Same kind of thing happening over here. Once your resources got downloaded and it is getting installed, it is checking now for the posturing. Try to understand. Posturing means all the pre-requirements which I have set it up. Firewall should be on, antivirus should have the latest definition. These two I have given. Now in this also you have an option. Auto, manual. Not the NAT one. This auto manual is simply automatic and the manual. What will happen? Once your resources get downloaded and installed, they will check for the firewall and antivirus. Now let's suppose my firewall is off. My firewall is off. I can, over the AAA server, which I have configured, basically our ISE, over there, I can define that. Once my posture is being hitted, can user, either user has to turn it on manually or automatically it will turn on. That means my firewall, which was off, either it will get turned on automatically, either I have to go into my control panel settings and I have to turn on the firewall manually. This is option given by the network engineer. This you can give it. So this is your auto and manual. And after that, again, your tool will get, what I can say, again, you have to run that resource, run that tool. Again, it will try to check, and this time it will find that your firewall is on. Non-compliant is a state which get hit when the posture has detected, that software has detected that your firewall is off. Okay. I have deployed only two conditions, antivirus and firewall. Both should be on. As soon as the software has detected that one of the condition didn't got satisfied, it will convert my authorization, my access into a non-compliant state. So now, right now, I am standing in a non-compliant state. Okay, half-baked. Over here also, I didn't got the full access, but I might, according to the network engineer, whatever he gonna configure, this is also a DACL which we gonna write. I can get certain authorization, certain permissions that I can reach out to the servers which are publicly reachable, let's suppose inside the network. I'll not get the full network access, but certain things I can open it. This is called as your non-compliant state. Till now, everything is clear over here. What is happening, guys? Any doubt in this? Unknown or non-compliant? I'm trying to make it very easy to understand in a day-to-day life examples. Clear? Chris sir, Bright, others, Ahmed? Asam, Anil sir? All good? Are we use all as a... No. This is not a best practice. See, auto and manual can be your practice. Okay. But firewall, antivirus, in what way you are saying that are we using all this as a best practice? According to the Cisco, they have defined the terms unknown, non-compliant, and the compliant. Simple answer is that. If you want to give it another name, you can give it, sir. But these are the stages which are being defined like this. Okay. That first of all, user has logged in. He will get certain access just for downloading the resources that will termed as unknown. After that, user will come, user will download all the tools. And if any of my posture requirements are not getting satisfied, I'll be dropped into a non-compliant state where I can get certain access. What that access is, that depends on company to company. You belong to ABC company, I belong to XYZ. Both will define our own DACL. Simple as that. That is not a thing to be discussed. That is not precise thing. Depends on company to company. What is your interesting network which you are interesting traffic which you are defining? Okay. Third is your compliant state. That means I have fulfilled all the requirements. My firewall is on. My antivirus is on. Everything is done. All prerequisites satisfied. Finished off. Now I reached into the compliant state. Simple as that. I reached into the compliant state. And I'm having the full network access. Over here, compliant state in the DACL, simple example I'm giving to understand. Permit IP any. Let's suppose. I'm giving all the access to the user. And now whether you want to open the YouTube, you can open it, Facebook, you can open it. Anything you want to do, you can do it. Even you can connect with the VPN somewhere around if you want. These are the three different stages how it is being defined. Now, I hope you got the idea about what are these two terms, client provisioning and the posturing. Okay. With that, now let's see some of the slides and get it visualize this thing. Client provisioning and the posture. So, what is a posture? If you ask three different people in the information security world that what the term posture means, you will get at least 5 different answers. The definition of the term really depends on your point of view. Obviously, how you gonna define, how you gonna understand the posture, but have your own perspective, have your own answer. Some security professionals think that the term refers to the health and the security status of the entire organization. Okay. However, Cisco introduced this term for the endpoints in 2002. Where the network admission or at the administration, okay, network administration control, NAC framework, and it has spread through the network and security world like the wildfire. Okay. Network access control, NAC solution. It also called as network administrative control or network access control. NAC solution. So NAC solution means it's basically certain software which are being getting integrated with respect to the hardware, and at the end you are getting the network access. That is called as the NAC solution or the NAC framework. And it actually got spread after 2002 in like a wildfire. The IETF standard also used the term posture, but other solutions in the industry have called it different things. For example, Microsoft defunct network access protection, NAP, network access control, NAC. So basically, posture is nothing but a NAC solution. Network access control, as the name suggests. Okay, you are controlling the network access through some prerequisites using some softwares or something that is called as nothing but your posture in simple terms. But every company, every brand has their different terminologies and the perspective. Simple as that. You may have seen the term compliance being used. But regardless of this term, what we are discussing here is evaluating the current state of the endpoint. What is the current state? So my firewall is off. My antivirus is off. This is my current state. Okay. And that current state is being evaluated by my tool. Okay. What that tool is, guys, that tool is nothing but your compliance tool. That is called as the compliance tool. The tool which you are installing, which is checking, which is evaluating all the prerequisites getting satisfied or not, that is called as your compliance tool. And this process is called as client provisioning, which I just explained to you. Okay. All these three terms are clear: posture, client provisioning, and the compliance. Clear? Yes or no? Then we'll move it quickly. Good. Okay. I'm only getting 1 or 2 answers always. Interact, guys. We need to have a lot of interaction afterwards as well. Okay, you're gonna come for the CCI lab. Cisco calls the process posture assessment. Okay, the whole process is being called as a posture assessment. Whether you want to prevent an unauthorized user from using an unauthorized device, such as your home laptop, or reduce the threat from the computer infections and the malware. See, why this is being done: endpoint security. We need to protect from the threats. We need to protect from the infection and the malware which can come through the client inside the network. That needs to be protected. Network has to be protected from the client. And mainly we do the posturing with respect to the guest user, because we don't know over the AAA server, my employees are already having the access because all the conditions are already satisfied. But what about if tomorrow another user is bringing another machine? You don't have the complete control of your AAA server over that, right? For that thing, mainly for the guest access, for the guest user, we define the posturing. Okay. Simple example is that you might be living in a multi apartments or buildings. Okay. So the daily basis, if your spouse is coming, your children is coming, or you are going to the home, you are having the full access because you are the known person of that house. But whenever the unknown or the guest is coming, you might have think that security guys send you a notification over to your number through an application. You have to approve that, then only that guest will be allowed. If not access is being given, that guest will not be allowed inside the building to come to your home. Simple example is working over here. No rocket science. Okay. Cisco call this process as posture assessment. Whether you want to prevent an unauthorized user from using an unauthorized device, such as your home laptop, or reduce the threat from the computer infection. The goal of the posture assessment is to validate an endpoint before authorizing its access to the network. Why should we care about the posture? Posture has its own, on its own, does not protect your network from the possible intrusion. So how does ISE Posture Services help to protect you? Think about your endpoint security like you would think about an armor, basically. Yeah, of course, the precautionary measure which is being taken. The armor is not a single piece of steel, but instead it's a set of security components. That set of security components has to be fulfilled by that tool, compliance tool. Okay, that's where your compliance tool comes into the picture. The whole process is called as your client provisioning, because one reliable component might destroy your entire protection. Okay. ISE Posture Services, gaining the access to the corporate endpoints, gives a lot of opportunities to the attacker. Endpoint armor consists of a lot of components where a gap in one component may destroy the efficiency of the entire system. ISE Posture Services help to ensure that your endpoint armor is always inside a good shape. Okay. This is the main responsibility of the posture services given by your Cisco appliance identity service engine, to ensure that, to make sure that all your endpoints armor is always into a good shape. Okay. Next. What is a posture? Cisco extended the strong identity control of your .1x with a new concept of the endpoint posture, which will make sure that any endpoint, any of the client, endpoint means client basically, any of the user or the client attempting to join the network were compliant with the company security policy. Got this term now, guys? Okay. This is what I have explained at the end, where we come to a solution that user has to be compliant in order to get the full network access. The same thing is written over here. See, endpoint posture, ensuring that the endpoint or the client attempting to join the network were compliant with the company's security policy requirement. Validating that an endpoint has an antivirus software installed. See, understand, try to read it. Validating that an endpoint has an antivirus software installed and running, personal firewall is enabled, and other important checks added a lot more to the authorization aspect of your .1x in order to keep the company safe from the malware. Simple as that. These are the basic requirements which needs to be feeded out before allowing anyone to the network. This solution was called as your NAC solution. Network access control, network administration control, network admission control, whatever you term as. And it was designed to use the 802.1x so it could leverage the Cisco ISE. So basically, it is using the .1x standard only. See, the malware generally comes from the user. The user generally comes with a device which can have the authentication process with respect to the username and the password. That type of access of username as password, we define it as .1x. In the map, it doesn't come. Okay. For map, we do a certain section that is called as profiling. Whereas due to that MAC address, profiling will be done and you will be able to get that what is that brand of the device which has come. Either it's an iPad, either it's a Apple phone, okay, either it's a Windows laptop, which version of Windows they are using, Windows 8, Windows 8.1, Windows 10, Windows 11, which kind of patch they are running, okay, what are the software which are already installed, what is the version of that software which is being installed, okay, what are the number of cores of the or the processor count. These kind of things are being done to get all the information about that machine. That is called as your profiling, guys. Okay. Posturing means to mitigate certain requirements. Next. The class leader in the network access control space was the company called the Perfigo, which created a clean machines and line appliance solution. Cisco acquired that Perfigo in 2004 and renamed the solution as NAC appliance. So this was the exact, I would say, the product which Cisco has acquired, the Perfigo, and renamed the solution as NAC appliance. This gave Cisco a solution with strong 802.1x identity control with a limited posture capabilities and have a separate appliance-based solution for the customer looking for strong posture control with less security, identity control. Okay. Now, a little brief. With ISE, the posture data is sent from the endpoint to an active server through a TLS encrypted session. Whenever we do a TLS encrypted session, that means we are talking about getting the user access through a HTTP based session, TLS. Okay. HTTP based session. When we get or try to authenticate using HTTP, when we are doing a guest access. Understood why I have told earlier that generally the posture assessment is being done for the guest. Guest is coming via the TLS inside the network. Okay. Now, this means that the device must be on the network before posture can be accessed. Of course. That's the reason there are 3 different stages: unknown, non-compliant, and compliant. What the line says, device must be on the network before the posture can be accessed. This is accomplished by providing the temporary access for the assessment and any required remediation. Temporary access. Second line, what you are reading belongs to your non-compliant state. This is accomplished by providing the temporary access for the assessment and any required remediation. Remediation means, understand, this also being defined as the 2 to 3 terminologies, which we're gonna be encountering tomorrow. One is the requirement. What is my requirement, guys? Firewall should be on. Second requirement. Okay. Or also this requirement is called as condition. Basically, I'll use the term as condition. This is my condition, that inside the posture assessment, firewall should be on, antivirus should be on. Okay. Second, after the condition comes the remediation. I'll remove this requirement. I'll use the term as condition. Okay. First of all, my condition is firewall and antivirus should be on. Second, remediation. What if these are in the off state? For that, I need to do the remediation, right? What is the remediation? Turn it on. Simple, fundamental thing, basics. Obviously, this will be my remediation. I'll turn it on. What is the remediation when you get an ad blocker? You turn it off, right? What is the remediation when these tools are off inside the posture assessment, the validation? I'll turn it on. The condition and the remediation, I need to bind it. I need to bind this tool, these 2 settings. That I'll term it as my complete requirement. That this is my complete end-to-end requirement from the endpoint, from the client, from the user who is coming via the guest access. And this requirement, see, you write the access list, right, inside the firewall. I'm talking about that ASA one, okay? Not this firewall, Windows firewall. Inside ASA, you write the access list. When the access list will come into the effect? Anyone? When the access list will come into the effect? Prashant sir, Chris sir, Bright. We have to apply, right? Apply to the interface, correct? Same thing. We have built it up the requirement, but we need to apply this requirement over the policies. Then only it will be implemented. Got the 4-step process now? Condition, remediation, requirement, applying this requirement over the policies. Simple as that. Then only it will implemented over your posture assessment. Clear? These 4 terminologies. Good till now? Wonderful. Chalo. Yeah. The endpoints, the third point, the endpoint need an agent to perform the compliance interrogation. Sorry, the compliance interrogation. This is where your Cisco AnyConnect comes in. See, I told you the example in the starting of the Cisco AnyConnect. This is why I was using it. The endpoint needs an agent to perform the compliance interrogation. This is where the Cisco AnyConnect comes into the picture. It's a modular agent, and one of its module system, Cisco AnyConnect has multiple modules in it. One of the module is a system scan. Okay, system scan is just like you download an antivirus inside your system. Is it a McAfee or Kaspersky or Avast or any AVG or any of the other product? They are doing a system scan. Antivirus itself is doing a system scan in order to find a virus. Inside posture assessment, the AnyConnect system scan will do the assessment and will check that what are the requirements, and either are the requirements or the conditions are turned on or not. For this, we need to do the system scan. In this scan, it will check that the firewall is on or not. The antivirus is on or not. This is the system scan which will check. Okay. The last point, that is where your Cisco AnyConnect comes into the picture. It's a modular agent, and one of its module, system scan, is the posture agent for the ISE, which gonna check that what is the requirements, is it satisfied or not. Until the time, I'll not be allowing the user to get into the compliant state. AnyConnect is on the client side of the posture communication. Of course, AnyConnect has to be downloaded and installed over the client side only. And the ISE posture subsystem that runs the policy service node on the server side. So ISE is running all the posture subsystem policies over the PSN unit, over the service side, over the AAA. The subsystem contains the policy engine and the compliance module. So basically, once your guest access portal will be ready, right? See, and now again understand. When yesterday at 3 a.m. I reached to the airport, I was an endpoint. I was a user. I got connected to the airport network. And after that, the airport authority has downloaded certain tools for the posture assessment inside my laptop or my machine. Right? Who was the one who was pushing those compliance modules? That was my ISE. That was my AAA server. That was my PSN unit, which was another on the server side. Through which medium they are sending those compliance module? Through the guest portal, through the TLS guest portal base, HTTP based guest portal. I have just opened up the website, and through that website, it is getting downloaded, right? That is your second point. The subsystem contains a policy engine and a compliance module, which will be there onto the service node, but it will be pushed over to the client through that TLS process. The compliance module is the library of the supported software, basically. See, the compliance module is nothing but a library of the supported software or the condition and the operating system, which is going to check everything. This module exists both in the ISE posture subsystem as well and the AnyConnect system scan module as well. Okay. The software that instruct them both how to perform the posture assessment. Simple as that. That is your compliance module. When using the posture assessment, it is critical to keep the compliance module as up to date as possible. For sure. Because see, who is playing the main role over here? Now understand. Without the compliance module, there will be no checks, because that is the only tool which is doing this system scan. That is the only tool which contains all the modules. So everything is being done by that system scan only. Sorry, by that compliance only. By that compliance tool. So he is the main actor, who is the main hero, who is playing the all the role over here. And who is present over the ISE side as well, or in the subsystem, and who is now present through the AnyConnect over my endpoint also, inside my laptop also. And who is the actual one doing the posture assessment over here. So if this tool is not updated properly, how the things will work? One thing. Second thing, a little bit technical. Compliance, AnyConnect compliance module 4.3.x. This is the suitable one for your ISE 2.4 version. You can make a note of it. Okay, you can make a note of it. Right now, what is the current version of the AnyConnect which we are running? Latest one? Anyone knows? 4 dot. Anyone using AnyConnect? 4.10, I think, right? 4.10 is the current AnyConnect version which we are installing and using as a software. You cannot use a 4.7 compliant version, or let's suppose more later than that, you cannot use with ISE 2.4. Okay, you have to have the ISE 3.0 for that. Are we get download tools inside ISE only or other vendor? Are we getting download tools in ISE only? No, it's a posture assessment services. See, end of the day, this is the NAC solution, right? So this is being termed as a NAC solution. This is being deployed in all the products in different AAA server. Might be possible that is not, they have not termed the solution as posture. They have a different word for that. But somewhere, some around, they should be having the feature as well, for sure. Okay. Because how are we going to check? This is the main thing. How are we going to check that what are the minimum requirement? We need to have certain tool which should be getting installed over to the endpoint. Right, Chris sir? Clear? So we need to download the tool. Okay. Now, another thing, if you are using ISE version 2.4, make sure you are using 4.3 AnyConnect compliance module. If you want from my side, I'll give it to you inside the Google Drive. I have it. Okay. Why 4.7 will not work? Reason being simple. See, there are two things. Two machines are there. One is your client machine. Second one is your AAA server, which is ISE. Okay. ISE, you have to upload that compliance module. How you gonna upload? Either you will go with the Cisco website, either you already have downloaded inside your computer and you have uploading. Two process. Size of the file matters over here. I myself, when I was doing this lab, I tried 4.7 AnyConnect compliance module. AnyConnect compliance I'm writing. 4.7. I tried it to upload over the ISE 2.4 version. It didn't got uploaded because the file size of this was greater. Okay, it got failed. I tried 4.3 AnyConnect compliance module. Successful hit in one shot, it got uploaded. So size is the reason, because I got the error that size of the file is too large for this version. If you are using ISE 3.0, then you can install the 4.7 version compliance module. So over here, it will get uploaded. On this machine, it will get downloaded. Simple as that. Using HTTP, TLS-based services as a guest portal, along with your AnyConnect tool. Because AnyConnect tool itself has certain many modules. One of them module is system scan. This is the whole picture in a nutshell, how it's gonna happen. One-way upload, then creating a portal access, using that portal access by the client, he'll download the tool, he'll do the posture assessment, manual and auto, turn it on. That is a different thing that we're gonna see. And after that, it will get into a compliant state where he'll be able to use all the whole network access without any kind of issue. The remedy for such cases is simply to update the ISE and the AnyConnect compliance module because the client is running a newer version of some antivirus software. Compliance version has to be updated because those updated software will contains all the patches with respect to the other modules like your antivirus software, your firewall softwares, different, right? For Windows 10, for Windows 11, like which the version which we are going to use 4.3, that will have certain things for the firewall with respect to Windows 10 only. There is no support for Windows 11. For that, obviously, you should be having a compliance module, which is the latest version, which can check for the posture assessment for Windows 11 also. We only have the support till Windows 10. That is the reason compliance module is very important, to check for the latest softwares. Okay, obviously. Now, what is this? This is a picture you can see. AnyConnect, there's a tool which can get installed over to the Mac OS, over to the Windows. These are my endpoints over the left side. Okay. The decision making one is my right hand side, which is the PSN node, policy service node of the ISE. ISE will be having all the posture updates. ISE will be having all the requirements. ISE will be having all the remediations. ISE will be having the latest compliance tool which is being supported. And my client at the end, everything once I have created over the ISE, it will be implemented and downloaded and installed over to my client machine, which is my endpoint. This is the whole foundation of what we gonna do as per the posturing, what you do as per the posturing. Okay. Then ISE configuration workflow for the posturing services. Okay. Global posture settings, posture conditions, remediation, requirement, policies, client provisioning, policy, authorization component, authorization policy. I'll give a brief explanation, but this is basically what you wanna do inside the main lab when we'll see it. Okay. Global posture settings are there. Where we'll go. First, I'll create a condition. What I told you guys, 3-step. First, I'll create a condition. Condition is firewall and antivirus. Second, then I'll create the remediation. If it is off, turn it on. Both condition and remediation will be called under the requirement. That requirement has to be implemented. Implementation of access list is being done by applying to the interface. Implementation of the posture requirement will be done by implementing under the posture policy. Simple as that. No rocket science. Okay. After that, client provisioning resources. These resources will nothing but will contain the compliance tool which we're gonna implement. 4.3 dot something. Okay. Then we'll be having the client. The resources are these, right? Resources means tools. Client provisioning policy will be creating a policy that these tools has to be implemented via the guest portal over to my end user. Authorization components. Okay. Under where your authorization policies, your DACL, what are the different components comes into the picture. And then at last, based on this situation, you want to define your policies, authorization policy, as well as the DACL, where you will say that for the unknown user, there are certain permissions. For the non-compliant user, there are certain permissions. For the compliant user, there is a full network access. Simple as that. This is your whole procedure which has to be followed under the posturing. There is nothing else. Okay. Got the clear-cut idea about what posture is? Got everyone? Understood? Any doubt in this? Theoretical part is clear, right? Anything which you felt a little hard or little not understood, why we are doing what we are doing? I tried my level best to make you understand. All good? Yes? No? Clear? One clear? Second good? Yes? Others? Abdullah, Ahmed, Anil sir, Azam, Mughayed. Looking forward to lab. Theory is clear, sir? Good? Wonderful. Okay. So this is what we have seen with respect to the theoretical part. Tomorrow we'll see the lab where this whole workflow will make it out sequentially. And I'll show you all the three process. Okay. I'll show you the unknown also, how it is being hitted. I'll show you the non-compliant, how it is being getting hit. Because in the ISE logs, you will see the unknown, you will see the non-compliant, and then at last, when all the things are satisfied, the prerequisites, you will see the compliant state at the end. End to end will be seen in three different parts. Okay. So with that, we'll end for the session for today. Theoretical part is completed. Lab, I'll have the server access now and I'll try to build the lab over there. What are the things need to be taken care of? And we'll meet tomorrow at same time and we'll do this. Okay. All good. Okay. So with that, let's end for the day. We'll meet tomorrow, same time. Till then, take care. See ya. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a great day. Enjoy.